Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara and today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I haven't done a book haul in a while and that is generally because I have been buying less books, but I think over the last 4 months I have received quite a few books very kindly from other folks, but I also have bought a few books myself. I did also get a few Amazon vouchers, so naturally use those to purchase books because what else would you purchase? And I think with that in mind, let's kick off. I am gonna start off with books that were gifted to me, and I do just want to say thank you so much to anybody, whether you're an author or a subscriber or one of my Patreons, who gifts me books. It's never expected but always hugely appreciated. Thank you so much, from the bottom of my heart. It's very generous of anybody to send me a copy of either their book or another book. It's just I genuinely still find it quite mind-blowing that people send me books. It's so generous, so thank you so much. I will kick off with one of my patrons, James, who sent me some books. So the first book that he sent me is Embassy Town by China Miéville. China Miéville is an author that we've talked a decent amount about in my Patreon. A few of us have read some of his books. Quite a few of us also quite enjoy Miéville as well, of what we've read so far. So I think we have a pretty decent kind of fan base in the Patreon. I think Embassy Town is a good one because it's quite short compared to a lot of Miéville's other books, and it is also a standalone, so it's not a huge commitment. And then the next one is The Lathe of Heaven by Ursula K. Le Guin, which I'm a huge Ursula K. Le Guin fan. And I actually read The Lathe of Heaven a couple of months back and I did a review on it, so definitely go check it out. But it's an absolutely fantastic sci-fi book. And then he also gifted me Age of Ash by Daniel Abraham, which, as many of you who've watched my channel for a while now will know, is one of my favourite authors. So thank you, James. One of my other Patreon members, Matt, also sent me a book. This was actually during when I was sick, so it was quite a nice little pick-me-up. And that is a manga called Tokyo These Days, Volume 1 by Taiyo Matsumoto. This is a manga that I actually flagged in my Discord because I came across it, and I came across it quite randomly, and I quite like manga that's quite calming. I've read Berserk, I've read Fullmetal Alchemist, and they were both quite intense manga. And I then started reading Hide Yasumi, which is really relaxing, and I just love how it's just about people kind of living their lives. And I came across Tokyo These Days and I was quite intrigued by it. So thank you so much for that, Matt. Then I got some books from my brother. My brother is very generous and he sometimes just gets me books, and he wanted to get me some books. He said to me, you pick which ones you want. So I picked Children of June by Frank Herbert, which I will hopefully be reading at some point this year. I also got Five from Heaven by Mary Renault, which is the first in a trilogy about, is it Alexander the Great? Yeah, I think it's Alexander the Great, which I want to read more historical fiction, so it's got to be done. Then I also got Under Heaven by Guy Gavin Kay because I adore that man's writing. I then also got These Burning Stars by Bethany Jacobs, which is the first book in a sci-fi duology that was actually recommended to me by James. And then he also got me 2 manga, which he actually got me on a separate occasion when he went to Portugal. And that is The Swamp, which is volume 1, and Red Flowers, which is volume 2 by Yoshiharu Tsuge. And Yoshiharu Tsuge is quite a famous manga artist in Japan, and I've heard really amazing things about his manga. It's quite political from what I understand, and some of them are written like short stories, which is really cool. Very excited to pick that up. Then I had some books sent to me by authors. So the first one was Genesis of Change by Livia J. Elliott. She actually sent me the Kindle version, but then also sent me a physical edition once the physical edition came out, and it was so lovely to receive that. I'll actually try to add in a picture of all the little knickknacks that I got with it as well. So thank you so much, Livia. Then the next author was Jacob Sanek, which is actually an author I've had on my radar for a while. So when he did reach out, I was pretty happy about that. And he sent me his 2 series. I think he has 2 series out. So the first one is the Dark Oak Omnibus. And then I also got The Return of King Arthur, which I think that might be the name of the series. I can't remember. I will double check and put it into the video. But I will probably read that one first. I love Arthurian mythology. I love retellings of Arthur and Merlin. It's one of my favorite things to read, and I'd like to go back to reading more of that because I haven't in a while. Now we're going to move on to books that I bought myself. So I'll split them up in between kind of physical books that I bought, but then also books that I bought on Kindle. Before I do that though, I did go to Scotland, as I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, and I had a really lovely time. I did buy 2 books from one of my favourite bookstores in Edinburgh, and I bought The Cossacks by Leo Tolstoy. And I've been trying to find that edition. I've been trying to find this edition for so long. It's the little mini hardcover, and I just haven't been able to find it anywhere, and they had it in the store, so I obviously bought that. And then the next one I bought was Doomsday Book by Connie Willis, which is a book that was put on my radar by Matt, a sci-fi book that I'm very intrigued by. It's got like a time travel element in it, which is something that I'm always quite interested to read in. And Connie Willis is an author that I'm quite intrigued by in general. And then we'll go on to books that I've just acquired, you know, either through vouchers that I've had or books that I've just picked up here and there. So we'll start with the physical ones. So the first one is The Art Sakura by Kobo Abe. This is a Japanese translated fiction. Kobo Abe is known for doing quite like weird fiction, like it's quite trippy from what I understand. And there was this really beautiful cover, I'll make sure to insert the image of the right one, that was like super discounted on Blackwell. So I thought, why not? And he's also an author I've not read yet, so I would really like to at some point soon. I then got Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, the Everyman edition. And I love those Everyman editions. And I've decided pretty much all the Russian authors that I want to read, I'm going to get the Everyman editions if I can, because I love them and I think they look so, so nice. And they're very readable, and the quality of the paper is really good quality. They also have a little bookmark, like they just look really good and they feel really good when you read them. And then I also got The Idiot by Dostoevsky, the Everyman edition too. I also got Silence by Shisaku Endo. I talked about The Samurai a few weeks ago on my channel. Many of you quite like the sound of it, which is great. And Silence is definitely going to be the one that I read next. And naturally, I had to buy the physical edition because I have a feeling that I'm going to love it as well. I then also got The Age of Reason by Sartre, who is an author I've not read yet, and I think that's actually quite criminal. I've heard quite interesting things about this book. I don't really know what to expect, but I'm quite intrigued and I would like to try and get to that sooner rather than later. Then I got some more Everyman editions. I got The Adolescent by Dostoevsky, Everyman edition. And I also got Dead Souls by Nikolai Gogol, Everyman edition too. So we have a few Everyman editions. I did get one more, and that is Fathers and Children by Ivan Turgenev as well, also Everyman edition. So as you can see, I'm already building up my collection, and all of these I want to try and get to at some point this year, but you know, we'll work my way through them for sure. I think that that's where I'm going to stop now with the Everyman editions as it relates to the Russian authors. I want to make more progress through some of them, and then I will end up picking up some more, I'm sure. And then I got 2 more sci-fi books. I got Two Like Lightning by Ada Palmer. Ada Palmer is an author that I'm really keen to read because I've heard really good things, and I love the premise of Two Like Lightning as well. So I actually did have the Kindle edition, but I feel like this is a series that I'm going to want to read physically. I don't know why. Sci-fi is generally a genre that I like to read physically for some reason. No idea why. Then the last one I got was a book that was recommended to me. Well, it wasn't recommended to me. Somebody was talking about it on Twitter, and I thought, okay, I want to read that. Sounds awesome. And that is Axim's End by Lindsay Ellis. Love the sound of the premise, and I've heard really good things about how like the series evolves and that it like the quality maintains throughout. So very, very curious to pick that up. And then all of these ones I got on ebook at one point or another, and let's jump in. So the first one is The Female Cojote by Charlotte Lennox. I'd never heard of this, and then I came across it super randomly, and I thought that is a book that I really want to read because it's like a different kind of telling of Cervantes' Don Quixote, but it's like through the lens of a woman in like Regency England, from what I understand. I might have got the timing a bit wrong, but it sounds fascinating to me. Then I also got Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. This is a book that I am dying to read. It's just so chunky. Like, I think it's like 1,200 pages. So I need to find the right time to kind of fit that in, because this is a book that I know I'm going to love. I just need to make the jump into reading it. Then I got The Book of Disquiet by Fernando Pessoa. This is a book, again, I came across quite randomly, and I thought, this sounds like my kind of book. Sounds good. Then I also got a Korean translated fiction called Yeonam Dong's Smiley Laundromat by Kim Ji-yoon. This sounds like the sort of Japanese fiction that I've been reading quite a lot of recently, where it's like individual stories coming together, very human, very emotional, people being people. my kind of thing. Then I got The Physician by Noah Gordon. The Physician is a movie that I really liked, and I didn't realise it was actually based on a book. And I love that period of history, and I love kind of what was happening around that time, which was a time of enlightenment and knowledge, and people were making a lot of discoveries around like medicine. I would really like to read the book because I don't remember tons from the film. And I think it's a trilogy, so it'll be interesting to see how it expands beyond the movie as well. Then I got a Japanese translated fiction, and that is The Bookshop Woman by Nanako Hanada. This was a new release, and I believe it's just following our main character, who is kind of rediscovering her life and like what she wants from her life, which sounds amazing. Then I got The Crimson Court by Brandon Noble. This is a self-published book, I believe, and I've heard really good things about the politics in this book, and you don't really need to tell me anything else to sell me on a book if there's politics in it. Then I got Ghost of the Neon God by T.R. Napa. This is an author I've talked about on my channel previously, and I really enjoyed his book, 36 Streets. This is a novella, and, you know, I did read it, and I'm sure I will do a review on it at some point soon, so keep out for my thoughts on that. I've got one more book, and that was another Japanese translated fiction, The Third Love by Hiromi Kawakami. Hiromi Kawakami is an author that I have read before, and I did quite like the book that I read. I'm quite interested to read more by this author though, because they have written quite a few books. So this is also a new release as well. So I'm very curious to pick that up. So those are all the books that I bought. So I did get a decent amount, but this was over like the period of quite a few months. And I think, as you can tell, there's quite a nice wide variety of genres. Interesting enough, not a ton of fantasy. It's because I genuinely do think that I own most of the fantasy that I want to read. So now I'm expanding out in other genres. And I think one genre that I would like to expand more is historical fiction. So if anybody has like a favourite historical read that they want me to pick up, let me know down below, because I am very curious. I have like all the main ones that I think a lot of people talk about on BookTube. But if there's any like hidden gems in particular, let me know. So there we have it. Let me know down below if you've purchased or acquired any new books over the coming months. I'm always curious to hear what's on the top of people's purchase list. So yeah, let me know down below, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching, folks. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my comments. Stay safe, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.